Good morning. Welcome to Grab the Horns. This morning the stock that we're going to look at is Ford, the automaker. Ticker symbol is F. Ford was obviously out of the big three car makers the one that did not take a bailout from the U.S. government when the car makers were in a lot of trouble. Ford, because of doing that, obviously saw a drop in their stock, but then exponential growth from there, and a lot of people who bought Ford at their lows saw quite a nice return as it went up to $18 a share. What we want to look at today in particular on Ford is basically, is Ford a good buy still today? Is it a good company, something that you want to own for more of a longer term type play? Not necessarily a trading stock. I don't think Ford would be a good idea to trade in and out of. I don't think there's enough potential there, but what we really want to focus on is Ford a good long-term play here? So let's go ahead and pull up a stock chart of Ford and dive into this a little bit more. So here in this, what we're going to do is take a look at this chart here. This is a chart of Ford Motor Company here. What we're looking at is basically, as you can see, it came up, and you'll see here its high right around $19 a share happened in the beginning of the year. Now it's come down a little bit since there. It's trading in this range here of around $14 to $16 a share roughly. And what we've seen is it's really just been trading in a range here for the last 3 months or so. Hasn't really been doing too much, just kind of trading in this range. And as we see here, I know there's a lot of lines going on here, so let's go ahead and zoom in. What we'll do is we're going to zoom in from 2010. This is going to give us a better understanding of what we're looking at here. So this light blue line, this is going to be the simple moving average of Ford. The red line above it is going to be a Bollinger Band, 2 standard deviations above the simple moving average. The purple line below it is going to be a Bollinger Band on the bottom side, again 2 standard deviations below it. Then you have the green line here, which this green line is going to be just a 200-day simple moving average, and this yellow line up here is going to be the 50-day simple moving average. So as you can see with Ford, the volume, there's nothing too exciting on the volume here over the last couple of months. Just been trading kind of, how it has. You see here around 100 million shares, 50 to 100 million shares are being traded a day. The interesting thing with this stock right now, though, is as you can see, the momentum plays. This down here is the relative momentum index. You can see momentum comes up, stock price came up, momentum goes down, stock price go down. So this has been almost following with the momentum play here. So as we all know, once this momentum slips under here, it means it's oversold. So what we could look at is a potential pop here. And if that pop happens, the price could continue to go up. Again, this isn't a stock that we want to look at to necessarily trade in, but is it something of good value that we want to purchase and hold on to for the intermediate to long term? The thing to look at, obviously, this would be a good time to buy if you are looking to buy, because simply the momentum is down right now, as well as what we're looking at here. Again, this purple line is the bottom of a Bollinger Band. It's hugging that bottom Bollinger Band here. And it's also under the 200 and the 50-day moving average, as well as just its simple moving average. So what we're looking at here is this stock has dropped quite a bit. When I say quite a bit, that's relative terms, but it has dropped, closing at around $14 a share last Friday. And if you do think this is a stock that you would like to own longer term, maybe it's time to start looking at possibly putting some money into this stock. Now that it has hit some of its lows here, and also now that it has dropped off on the momentum play here. So this is something to keep in mind. Let's talk a little bit more now about the fundamentals of Ford. So some of the things that we want to look at with the fundamentals of Ford is, obviously we looked at the stock price, we looked at kind of where it sits right now, and if you're not in agreement that this is a good stock to own longer term, this may change your mind a little bit. Ford is consistently striving to come up with new models of cars. They, like the other big two, Chrysler and GM, are really pushing for this green initiative. Obviously, there's a race for that, and Ford wants to be right inside of that. So they're making a lot better cars lately, and that's been seen by their sales numbers. Ford has been doing a lot better You can see an aggressive campaign with their marketing, really trying to take on some of those big, some of those big cars that are well known out of the other big three, and they're really doing a good job with that. The other thing that they've really been focusing on, like I just alluded to, is their energy efficiency cars. Now, what they've been doing is, if you look at their commercials lately, they've really been putting a lot of focus on their Ford Focus as well as their Ford Fusion. Now, those cars get 40 miles plus a gallon, so those obviously, with the type of situation that we've been in over the last few years with the energy crisis, those type of cars, they feel a big focus needs to be put on those because those are going to be the future of cars. Not to mention, with gas prices nearing $4 a barrel, not bad to be able to get 40 miles to the gallon with your car. So that's a look at Ford for today. Again, not something that you really want to necessarily buy and sell and trade throughout the day. However, could be a very good long run stock. Price is low right now. The momentum's a little low right now. It's on kind of the lower end of where it has been. So if you want to own this for more of a longer term play, maybe a good time to start looking at buying some Ford. As always, get out there, grab the horns.